All frucked up, day 47. Yeah, my thoughts for the day. Yet again, I was driving today and I was listening to the book Reality Transurfing. And for a lot of folks, that's going to be pretty far out there, but I promise it is an interesting book and worth your time. It'll trigger quite a few different interesting thoughts, I promise. Even if you're not into like quantum physics or the nature of reality and how we can more effectively navigate this world, hey, it's still a good use of your time, because who knows, maybe as you drive along, if there's anything to it, and I think there is, your subconscious will absorb some of the information from the book. But one of the things that struck me from chapter 7, which is intention, in case I'm not enunciating clearly, towards the end of the chapter, it talks a lot about, fear-based thinking, the people that expect the worst from life, they seem to get that result, because they're thinking along those lines. That's what they attract into their experience. But, even if we set that all aside for a moment, I think there's something that's relevant from that chapter. And it was talking about, tension. People are normally so wrapped up in a state of anxiety where, in this particular vein where we're focused on, fat loss, health and wellness, living our best lives. But, in order to get there, we need to drop the weight, drop the fat, more specifically. From my perspective, at least, it was, getting on the scale and hoping. And then there's that little voice in the back of your head that isn't always on your team. Like I could step on the scale and literally have the thought, I hope I'm down, X number of pounds, or I hope I weigh in at X, whatever that value would be. And then there'd be like this little voice in the back of my head that's like, yeah, it's not going to work out. No, you're not going to achieve that result. No, you didn't drop any fat. And it's fascinating but it's also frustrating to have that experience. And so as I'm listening to the audiobook for Reality Transurfing yet again, the author, or whoever was narrating, was talking about tension. And I really thought about that, like the times I've stepped on the scale and, it didn't matter how I structured my day. It didn't matter how I timed my meals. It didn't matter what the macro split was. There were literally times that I got on the scale. And if you followed this channel at all, I was stalled out for like 37 days. But I'd get on the scale and I would literally be like present to the moment in one sense. Like I know I'm physically standing on the scale, but then my mind's drifting to all these bad outcomes. And I noticed that there was tension in my body, and I can reflect back on those moments and realize that, yeah, I was very tense. It wasn't like an anxiety or anything like that, but it was just like stuck in this cycle of disbelief. Not like something is presented to me and I don't believe what I see, but literally ahead of the weigh-in, ahead of the digital scale, producing the number for my body weight, like just being in this state of it's not going to move. So like disbelieving, regardless, like I said, of how I structured my day, I would just like think ahead of the experience, like this isn't going to work out. And sure enough, it didn't. Now, I'm not trying to climb way out on that metaphysical branch, but I do know, based on my personal experience, that our thoughts are so important. And I do recall like this sense of tension in my body all throughout those days of weighing in repeatedly. And I think we have that tension. I think we feel those feelings when we doubt the outcome, when we either on some level don't think we can achieve it. I think that's why so many folks don't pursue their goals, is on some fundamental level possibly not even their fault. It's been conditioned into them by parents, caregivers, teachers, what have you. They don't pursue their goals because they don't think they deserve them. They don't believe they deserve that good outcome. And so they don't put forth any effort. And that's pretty heavy because I've been there, to not go after something because on some fundamental level, I didn't believe I deserved it. But in the space of like health and wellness, in this weight loss space, fat loss, I don't like to say weight loss. We're trying to preserve our muscle mass. We're trying to drop the fat. So in this fat loss space, to want to make change because of the mirror feedback, because of health concerns, because of chronic illness, because of a family member or a relationship or what have you, we decide on a goal. Perhaps we even had a scare. Perhaps we even had a health scare. But we make the decision, I would argue, perhaps half-heartedly or not genuinely, not like with every fiber of our being, but we have this thought like, oh, I would like to achieve this thing. Okay, well, that's great. And then like maybe to a greater extent, we really are focused, right? We really do want to drop the fat. But then on some level, we're not like all in. We don't just relax into the lifestyle of a healthy person. And when I say relax, I'm not talking about being sedentary. I mean, like, we've made the decision and we're at peace with it, and we know we're going to follow whatever protocols, and we're not going to be anxious about it. We're not going to have a bunch of tension about it. We're not going to resist it. We have the thought, and it's really genuine. Like, we're not just blowing hot air, right? We're not just entertaining some, oh, wouldn't it be nice if, some wish, some ethereal thought that we kind of entertain for a hot minute. But we're really after this outcome. We want to change our lives. We want to drop the body fat. But I think we have so much pressure, internally, and so much resistance internally. And I don't know where I heard it, but I heard that which we resist persists. And I think number one, we've got to believe that we're capable of the outcome. Number two, we have to believe we're worthy, that we're deserving of that outcome. And then I think we just need to relax. We need to just relax, because tension is, to my way of thinking, this attachment to outcome. It's this pervasive thing that like occupies every free moment, every free second. And we're like, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. And I think a lot of that is probably what drives the, I want to lose it right now, even though we didn't get fat overnight. And it makes very little sense to think we're going to have like abs by noon. We want to achieve everything right now. It has to be fast. If I can't achieve it fast, then it's not worth going after. And then I would remind folks of that Earl Nightingale quote that, and I'm going to paraphrase this horribly yet again, but whatever it is, whatever goal that you've set for yourself, don't be discouraged by the time that it will take to achieve that goal, because the time is going to pass anyway. But the point I believe I was trying to make is that, we want everything immediate, right now. We want it tomorrow, because we have this drive, this tension, this anxiety that we have to achieve this, where we just need to take a deep breath, deep inhale, deep exhale. I saw a meme one time that showed a little cartoon character, a little stick figure, and it was like, inhale, exhale, fuck it, which I thought was entertaining. But like, to a point, we need to do that, like a deep inhale, a deep exhale, and just let go of all the tension. Because if you have faith that you are capable of achieving the goal, and if you have faith that you are worthy of that goal, on some level that, you're not meant to like suffer and die in this life, right? You have that choice, that conscious decision is available to you to change your outcomes. And so, just relax into it. As Cole Robinson would say, like, saddle up for a good number of days, right? But we can still have the tension in that scenario. Like we could say, oh, I'm gonna sugar fast or fast, for X number of days. And then we have that importance. We've placed all this importance on it. And because of all this elevated importance, this tension, this anxiety creeps in because it's so important that we achieve it. No, just relax. You're capable, you're deserving, and just like whatever the action steps are that you've chosen to follow, whether it's calorie restriction, and I'm not trying to start a debate here about, what trumps what's the best way, whatever you want to implement, whatever you want to try, just relax. Relax. Follow the process, follow the steps, right? Take action, but don't put all this importance on it. It's just your day. You get up, have gratitude for the day if that's part of your practice, when your feet hit the floor, thank whatever creative forces you believe in for having another day. And, go about your morning routine, weigh in if that suits you, weigh in, and then just start into your daily routine. But relax. The weight loss will come. The fat reduction will happen, right? I don't remember where I heard this because I've gotten into a lot of different spiritual and metaphysical books, but I heard it said or written, or perhaps I've seen it written that, whatever this outcome is that you're after, you're already there. Like it's already happened. Reality transurfing would say that it exists. This outcome, whatever it is you're after, exists in the alternative space, and you just need to tune in to that script, to that version of reality, and bring it into physical form. But wherever it was that I heard this or read this, it was, you've already achieved your most optimal outcome. Now you're just living out the experience of getting there. And maybe that's pretty far out there for some folks, but life is all just a series of experiences. So if you're already there, if you've already achieved the thing, you were worthy of it from the beginning. Trying to think of the Navy veteran that died. He wrote the book You Were Born Rich. But it's already yours. Now you've just got to take the actions that will bring it into physical form. Take the steps that you need to take to achieve whatever outcome you desire. But relax in the process. It's just part of your day, right? When you focus on healthy foods, healthy habits, the fat loss is going to come. It's just a natural byproduct of living a healthy lifestyle. So with that, I'll close for the evening. I hope you had a fantastic day. I hope you have a fantastic night. Everyone enjoy your weekend. See ya.